It just seems very delusional to me that we can't simply have a conversation without assuming that there's hatred. I'm like, that's just nonsensical. We are in 2023, people. How uncivilized can we get? Guys, welcome to the Darkskins podcast, to another episode. We are back. It's just me and Caleb today, and we're going to have a conversation about, I guess, two main things. One is Andrew Tate, and then two is
Kellie-jay.
Kellie-jay, yeah, also known as Posie Parker, who came to New Zealand not too long ago. So today we are recording this podcast on the 1st of April, which is a Saturday. So yeah, in fact, it's funny, but there are two other podcast episodes that I have not edited that I will try and get to when I have time. But I mean, I love having these conversations. So, let's get right into it. Starting with Andrew Tate. Yo, not too loud, please.
I'm doing all right. Just, glad to see that justice has been served. Indubitably.
Justice? What do you mean by that?
Because the top G is free. Free top G. Free. He's free.
For those of you who don't know,
the main man is free.
Yeah. Andrew Tate has been released out of prison. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts, bro?
They all said that it couldn't happen. Listen, they all said that it was cap. They all said that he actually did those things. People were saying, I wish that it is the case that he did those things. Mm-hmm. You know how crazy that is? That you wish that somebody actually, not just that Andrew did that, but somebody actually got hurt like that. Like the kinds of charges, not even charges, allegations. Again, something to remember, no charges were actually filed against him. Right. No charges were actually filed. Let that sink in. And they had him under arrest, detained for 3 months now. Maybe even a little bit more than that. But
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but imagine if those things, grape. Imagine if that was that actually happened to somebody, and you wish that actually happened. That's kind of, I don't know, man. That's kind of
sounds a bit sinister.
Yeah, for real. You really let your hate for the man go that far. I mean, that's one thing if you hate the man, but to let it get to the point where you wish that he did that to somebody is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But he's free. You know what I'm saying? We up right now. City boys up. Not even just city boys, but self-improvement boys up right now. You know what I'm saying? This a dub. Look at this. I want you to be honest. Now, obviously.
What do you mean? Asking me something?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. By the way, can we just have a disclaimer before you share that? All of our opinions today are our own. Just letting everybody know. And we are having a discussion here. All right? I really want to get into something later on about, the fact that having a disagreement is not the same thing as hate. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, keen to hear what you have to say. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I want you to be honest, Sarah. All right. Okay. This is my sister. She knows a fair amount of my life. Right. Now, obviously, the common opinion is to hate Andrew Tate. I hate that guy. I can't get enough of him. He's everywhere. I can't. And then, so obviously on Twitter, the more popular opinion is going to be the hatred of Andrew Tate and the hate of his fans. Mm-hmm. Now, look at this meme right there. Right here. It's saying, let's go. It's a meme that says, let's go, Andrew Tate is free, in all caps, with speech marks on each end. Mm-hmm. And then it's a photo of what seems to be a 20-year-old loser, completely naked in his bed, just a mattress, no blankets on, with a bunch of garbage in his room, not clean, food everywhere, drinks everywhere, wrappers everywhere.
You literally cannot walk anywhere in that room, it seems.
Just basically describing a loser who lives in his mom's basement. And they're saying that basically those who are celebrating, saying, let's go, Andrew Tate is free, is this guy right here.
I am confused.
That's what they're saying, is those people who are saying, let's go, Andrew Tate is free, is this guy right here. A loser who has nothing going for himself, out of shape, completely dirty room. He has no life, and he just lives on the internet.
Right. So what do you want me to...
So my question to you is this, is I am one of those people who are saying, let's go, Andrew Tate is free. I'm celebrating.
Right.
Am I this person, Sarah? Let me ask you this.
No.
Okay, that's interesting.
You are not.
Okay, let's keep scrolling. Let's keep scrolling. Hold on.
There's some interesting images there of people like they're not looking like they've groomed themselves.
Look. Top G is free. He ain't do nothing. They're saying that these are the type of people who are saying that.
Right.
Right here, you got like some internet nerd, some skinny 12-year-old internet nerd, who's just sitting in front of a laptop. You know what I'm saying? No muscle, no nothing.
So
just
sad.
Portraying the image that this person lives online. Now I'll be at first. I'll say free Top G. He ain't do. I don't know about if I say he ain't do nothing wrong, but I would probably say that I don't think that he did the things that they accuse him of. I say that. But am I this person right here that they're saying these are the kind of people who say these things? Am I that person?
If we're defining that person as someone who
lives online, out of shape,
yeah,
just a complete incel.
No, you are not that person.
Look at this. Top G is free. They're saying that this person these are the people who are celebrating, saying Top G is free. Is a skinny kid trying to be cool, white boy, nerd, loser, ugly. They're saying that the people who say Top G is free is this guy right here. I'm one of those people saying Top G is free. I put that on my story. Am I this kid?
No, you are not that kid.
Okay,
I'm just wondering to myself, like, how are people kind of basing their conclusions? Like, is this the majority of people that they see online? Like, I mean, to be fair with you, I don't know these people that are saying Top G is free apart from my brother.
You know what's crazy? Before I get there, I want you to make an assessment with as quick as you can.
Fun times.
What are the differences? Sorry if you hear that. I'm just trying to put my phone on charge. I have one of the bad chargers. So, what are the differences between me and these people that they're trying to assume say these type of things? The out of shape, loser, probably living in his mom's basement, room completely dirty. You can't even move through the room. Just a failure in life. Somebody who lives online. What are the differences between these people that the internet is trying to say these are the Andrew Tate fans and me, an actual Andrew Tate fan? What would you say are the differences?
Okay, so you have clearly defined, I guess, how most people see the Andrew Tate fans. So I'm just going to look at what I see in you, which is, I think that you're someone who's very passionate about self-improvement. You actually work on yourself. You're very disciplined. You work hard in your, studies, also personal life when it comes to exercise. Like, you're very dedicated and you push yourself more harder than I even imagined. Like, it was so funny. We went to the gym like a week ago and this guy was like pushing it. Like, I was like, are you insane? But he also made me work hard too, and I think I appreciated that, and he kind of like cheered me on and believed in me. But also, like, yeah, the way that you take care of yourself and the way you take care of things around the house and things like that, like you're onto it. You're not someone who's lazy. I don't see that. You're someone who I would say is like growing into like a genuine like good man. Like I'm saying that it's because like I think personally I've been learning a lot to accept other people's help, and like Caleb has been that person to sort of like step in when he needs to, and I'm just like learning to like be okay and accept that. So like he's a man.
I'd say I'm growing into one. I'm trying to learn how to be. But okay, I thank you for those kind words, and I appreciate you. And I didn't ask her to say these things. Some of these things I've never even heard her say about me. So this is you know what I'm saying? This is, I don't fake none of my, you know, as Illuminati says, I don't fake none of my reactions. But so
can I add one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the thing that I find interesting is that you also like to bring other people on your journey as well, of like becoming better in life and I guess exercising your skills and stuff like that. So it's cool to see you encourage other people as well to be on that journey. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not a loner, which is what these people are trying to yeah, go.
I'm sorry. I have so many things to say. Also, he's not a type of person who likes to be like online, if that makes sense. He's very much a traditional person. He's like, I'm not, you know, gonna go on social media for this period of time. I'm gonna take time to just focus on myself and my friends and family. Yeah, he's definitely the opposite. Very private, loves to share life, you know, with the people around him as opposed to online. So,
yeah, I mean, lately I've been spending a lot less time on social media because I'm just so busy with everything. But look, this is what they're trying to. You need to. This is the brainwashing people. You know what I'm saying? You know me. I'm not scared of nobody. So I'll say whatever I want to. Now, you know, whatever I want to will be very appropriate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not gonna come out here saying some of the most craziest stuff. But what I'm saying is, this is the brainwashing that they're trying to convince you that, one, they're trying to convince you, okay, look at Andrew Tate, right? I'm not saying that Andrew Tate is a perfect example of what it is to be masculine.
Fair.
A lot of people have criticized some of his takes. A lot of people have criticized some of his takes, but have still admired him. Myself included. I don't agree with everything he says. There are a couple things which I don't agree with. I don't think that he should live by. But I would still say, yes, I admire him. They are trying to convince you that being a fan of... Before I even get to that, what are the things that Andrew Tate stands for? If you were to ask me, I think the core thing that Andrew Tate stands for is masculinity.
How would you define that?
Masculinity as in taking responsibility, taking accountability, bettering your situation, right? Becoming better, right? Like the one of the number one things that he advises to guys is to get in the gym. Like he mentioned this on a Piers Morgan interview, that someone messaged him saying that they have been diagnosed clinically depressed, that they're gonna kill themselves. And it was just a long, like, heartfelt message about, you know, how, like, they are planning on killing themselves.
Damn.
And then Andrew Tate he replied in this email, he said something along the lines of, hey, brother, this is a lot of stuff right here. This is, like, some heavy things. But I want to suggest to you something. I want to suggest that before you do what you plan on doing, get a 6-pack first. That's what he said. He said, get a 6-pack first. And if you still feel like doing whatever you want to do, fair enough. But that's my challenge to you, is like get a 6-pack first. And it sounded a lot more like generous than the way I just conveyed it. And then he went to the gym and he got a 6-pack, and then he replied like a few months later being like, I cannot even believe that I was in such a state that I was back then. Like, wow. I can't even understand. Like, thank you so much. My life has completely changed because of what you said to me. And so, like, that's one of the number one things that he encourages men to do, is is to better yourself, right? Better your mental health, your well-being, so that you can be a rock for the others around you. A lot of people think, he hates women. No, that's not true. If he hated women, then he would then these not necessarily the suicidal ones like I just mentioned to you, but like let's say the losers, right? The losers that want a high value woman.
I find it very interesting how you say losers. I don't think I understand how would you define losers?
Losers as in like the actual incels that are there.
Right.
The people that these guys are claiming are all Andrew Tate fans. These incels who like have no lives and whatnot.
Okay.
Let's say let's say that these losers are claiming to want a high value woman. Like you know what I'm saying, feminine, nice, you know what I'm saying, they'll they're willing to work with your program, beautiful, stuff like that.
Right.
Actually attracted to you. Let's say that these incels want a high value woman. You think Andrew Tate is gonna be like, yeah, that's you, you know what I'm saying, go for it. And these guys are like incels, living, you know what I'm saying, in their mom's basement with everything just so garbage, you know what I'm saying, no money, not having any looks, not in shape, not nothing, just completely out of shape, fat, whatever, lonely, bad at connecting with people, bad at talking with people. You think Andrew Tate's gonna encourage, go ahead, yeah, and you know, agree with them when they're hating on the modern women, like, yeah, women are so trash, modern women are so trash? No. Andrew Tate's gonna say to them, no, look at yourself first before you start criticizing others. You need to get yourself up, because I'm looking at you. It's not like you that much of a high value man yourself, which is exactly and that's what Jordan Peterson says too. It's like, if you're getting mad at high value, sorry, not high value, but modern women's expectations, what do you expect? You know, they're basically programmed to want the best caliber man. So rather than complaining about it, do what you can to reach their standards. And I think that's, from what I've seen of Andrew Tate, that's something that he would agree with. He doesn't agree with just hating on women for no reason. That's not what he does.
Right.
But rather he assesses things. He understands. He takes different opinions from whoever, and then he will give his take. And like I said, that's one of the things that he stands for, is self-improvement for both genders. He agrees that women should improve as well as a man should improve. And that's why he speaks to a lot of men, because they're lonely and they're sad and they're getting walked all over. Right. And what he's telling them to do is to better themselves. And then so obviously I'm one of those men. Now I don't feel like I've gotten walked all over and whatnot. Like I'm not like, the reason why the reason why Andrew Tate appealed to me wasn't because like I've been walked all over by women. I mean, although that has happened before, but you know, I've moved on from that. But it's like, the reason why Andrew Tate appealed to me is because he's standing for strength in men again.
I see.
For men to be strong. And so if the core thing that Andrew Tate stands for is masculinity, because he speaks to the young men a lot more than he does to the women. He hardly speaks to the women. But if like to improve themselves. Makes sense. And so if the core thing that Andrew Tate speaks to the young men about is to improve yourself. Is masculinity, sorry, not to improve yourself, but well, masculinity is improving yourself. But is masculinity, if that's the core thing, they're saying the people that stand for masculinity, the people that support masculinity, are these losers.
That makes no logical sense.
So I'm just saying that this is the programming that they're telling you. They're telling you to be weak. They're telling you to hate the things that Andrew Tate is teaching the young men, which is to be capable, to be competent of yourself, to be a free thinker, to not just agree with everything that is presented to you, but to rather assess and, you know, you good?
I'm just shaking.
But to rather assess and criticize and understand. Don't be someone who's afraid to listen to somebody's opinions.
Restarting things again?
Nah, just to wrap it up. The thing that they want you to believe from all this media, the thing that they want you to believe is that it's weak to support masculinity as a man. That it's weak-minded that if you support Andrew Tate, you must be a loser. If you are happy that a man is free from jail, that you must be a loser. Think about that for a second. They're saying that if you're happy that someone is free from jail, that you're a loser from a crime that they likely didn't commit. That there's to this day there is no evidence on. You are a loser. That you get no girls. You are lonely. You are out of shape. You live chronically online. And I'll say something about that too, which is, it's funny that they paint that image, right? They paint that image of all the people who support Andrew Tate are chronically online. You know what's the thing? The common thing that all these red pill guys, red pills like the masculinity, self-improvement, you know what I'm saying, getting yourself on track, more so traditional values, look for a traditional woman, become a high value man, then get a high value woman. That's basically the red pill movement. So you know what the common thing that the entire red pill movement says about their own independent interaction with the outside world, with the fans. They say, when I go outside and I walk, I've been to so many countries, I've been to so many cities, everywhere. People just coming up to me saying, hello, hey, I love your stuff. You've inspired me to get so much better. You've inspired me to better my life. You've changed my life. And they ask for a photo. Not once have I ever had a negative interaction in my life.
That is so interesting.
They say as soon as when they go outside, all these countries they've been to, all these cities they've been to, they've never heard any of this criticism that they've heard online in real person.
Sorry, you're speaking about
Andrew Tate, Sneeko, Fresh and Fit, all these people.
Every time they
go outside and they, it's not even like they're holding a fan meetup or anything like that. They're just going outside in their day-to-day life. They're always having good interactions with the people. They report that they've never ever had a negative interaction with somebody coming up saying you're what is it called, an incel, you're misogynist, you hate women, you're patriarchal. They've never had an experience like that ever. It's all positive. So think about that for a second. It's funny to think that they paint the Andrew Tate fans as people who have no friends, that are chronically online. And yet Andrew Tate themselves say, when we go outside, we never meet any of these people who are sharing these opinions online. We never meet them in real life. Think about that for a second. Oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Think about that, bro. So, yeah, Andrew Tate, he's trying to make a positive change. I've taken a liking to his message along with a lot of other people, and so the people who come up to Andrew Tate in person and say, hey, you've changed my life, you've helped me become better myself, you've helped me think about things more maturely, right, rather than just being a kid. Andrew Tate, he talks a lot against like smoking weed and drinking and stuff, like, and Fresh and Fit, like those guys, like they they're against, and they say, like, if you have friends that just play video games all day or that just smoke weed all day and just don't do anything, like, you need to cut those friends out of your lives. So like I'm telling you, they are about that self-improvement stuff. So these people, these are the Andrew Tate fans that you're talking about. These are the actual Andrew Tate fans. What are you talking about? All these Andrew Tate fans go up to him in person. They have a life. They're getting in shape, and they thank him for changing the trajectory of their lives because they were headed down for failure. But because of Tate and all of these red pill guys, they're heading to a place more so towards success. And all these people who are claiming that the Andrew Tate people are just chronically online. All these people that are making those accusations, guess what? Those are the people who are chronically online. You know why I say that? Because they never say any of these things in person. They never come out. They never. That's something that I've experienced myself. That's something that I've experienced myself as I've recently come back to Instagram and I've started to share more about this Jesus stuff. Share more about my faith. You know what I'm saying? My beliefs. All of that. My values. All those people that used to hate on me for being Christian, that they used to hate on me for my views. Now it's a bit different with this situation, but essentially they used to like gang up on me. They would, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to expose me in front of the classroom. They'd betray me, whatever. And this was at a time where I wasn't as comfortable as my faith. I wasn't as comfortable. I wasn't as vocal. You know what I'm saying? Because I just didn't know a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so I wasn't comfortable in my ability to explain things. And also I didn't want to lose my friendships. But since my change and coming back on Instagram and basically taking over this entire scene, where are those voices? Where are those people who used to talk all that smack about me? Where are they?
I don't know.
Where are they?
I don't know.
I don't know where they are. They've gone.
I'm looking, searching high and low.
They're gone. They're gone. I don't know where you are. And I know which people specifically.
Oh,
I know which people specifically.
Let's keep that inside.
I know. I know. Bible says not to gossip. I know which people specifically. And all you people that used to talk behind my back, that used to try and expose me, where are you now? I'm looking. You know that I posted on my story multiple times. I'm open to conversation with anybody. Even if you just want to have a conversation. I'm not even trying to debate. But where are you? Oh yeah, that's because with people who do not have core traditional values of how you should live your life, values on integrity of who you are, there is no honor among these people.
Oh goodness.
There is no honor. With people like us who have a solid foundation off of how the entire world works. We have a faith. We have a God. You know what I'm saying? We have these things that we follow. We have guidelines, right? This creates structure to how we ought to live, how we ought to treat one another. And one of those things is honor. But with these people, they don't have a foundation. They don't have a faith. They don't have any of these values. They don't have anything that they stand for. So with these people, there is no honor. There's no integrity. That's why they talk behind their backs, and they're afraid when somebody says, hey, look, all that stuff you was talking, where are you now?
That's tough.
That's why they're gone. They're silent. Because you have no honor. You have no backbone. You have no integrity in your life. I'm sorry.
Damn.
You don't stand for anything.
Pretty brutal.
You don't stand for anything. And that's all you people that are hating on Andrew Tate and Andrew Tate's fans as well. Because I'm here, I'm telling you right now, yeah, I'm an Andrew Tate fan. But is there anything wrong with that? Because I'm an Andrew Tate fan, I'm bettering my life.
This is so interesting. I feel like what you have to say is very much related to what we're going to talk about with like Posie Parker.
Yeah,
right?
I'll do a perfect transition into that.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Because like when I think about this, first of all, I don't know like a lot about Andrew Tate. And I would agree with Caleb in a sense that there are a few things that I've heard that I agree and a few things that I've heard that I disagree. But like from what I've seen how Caleb lives his life, I'm like, okay, seems like there's a lot of things to admire about this person. And I think like Posie Parker has said something about like guilty by association. Like just because you like certain traits about a person or certain characteristics about them, it doesn't mean that you agree with everything about their lifestyle and everything that they say and do. And then it's almost like people want to put a distance between you just because you have acknowledged the good things about them. And it's like you're now seen as an outcast because you just admire a small thing. It's almost interpreted as though you agree with everything a person says. Yeah. That's the thing that I don't understand about our society. There's
no things. People need to understand that things aren't just black and white. They're not always black and white. You're either fully for this person or fully against. No, what are you talking about? That's not common sense. And then so like, yeah, with this whole people who aren't, they have no honor, they have no backbone. They really what they are is cowards, because
you did not just say cowards, my brother.
Afraid, I'm not afraid of nobody. I'll say this stuff on the podcast, off the podcast. I'll look at their face and I'll tell them you're a coward. Because here's the thing. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Because one of these people, all these people that, since this Posie Parker incident, which we're gonna explain what happened, one of the people, there was a lot of liberals that I follow who they've all unfollowed me since making this change. But one of the liberals, that they posted the Posie Parker thing and like saying, oh yeah, that the post said like Posie Parker escorted out of Auckland and whatnot. And then the person said on their story, W for Auckland, which means like a win for Auckland, like, yeah, like this is a good thing. And then I replied to their story. I said like, nah man, this ain't a good thing. What are you talking about? Like, she got tomatoes thrown at her and like a can of paint thrown at her. Like, no person deserves to be treated like that because of what they believe. That's what I said to him.
Yeah.
Person still hasn't replied to me. That's what I'm saying. They have no backbone.
Oh my gosh. This is so interesting. Okay, we will dive into that. First of all, I wanted to read this post by somebody, because I think this is gonna be a good, like, I know you said you're gonna segue into this.
That was my segue.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay, we are here. But anyway, you've seen this post that I shared on my story, Caleb, by someone called Spencer Nakamura. I hope I've said that correctly. Sounds Japanese to me. But he's a Christian creator / speaker, podcaster. And I really admire this post that he kind of shared, which was just a day ago. Disagreement does not equal hate.
Facts.
Yeah. And so this is what he says. Our world has subscribed to the idea that disagreement is somehow synonymous with hate and bigotry. As a result, we are unable to challenge or critique anything. There is zero accountability. We know the strength of anything based on the testing of it. A house is tested by storms. Marriage is tested by struggle. So why can't we have the same standard when it comes to our worldviews and beliefs? It's easier to say someone hates you when they disagree with you.
Yeah, this person's spitting, I ain't gonna lie.
Rather than defending the merit of your belief.
Facts.
So and then they go on to say that I have friends that choose to do things that I disagree with based on my Christian belief. It's not a secret that I disagree with it. And although they know my stance, they also know that I love them. I think that's really important. And then he finishes off to say, just because you disagree with my Christian values, it doesn't mean I automatically assume you hate me. So why can't the opposite be true? To be honest, this clearly defined how our society is right now. And also like ties in the whole like guilt by association kind of thing, which I found very fascinating. I'd be keen to hear if you guys have any thoughts about that, whether you agree or disagree with that. I'm like, why can't we just have a conversation?
Don't you mean whether they hate you or they don't hate you?
I see what you did there. But yeah. I completely agree with that post that he shared, and I really hope it goes viral, because I'm like, people need to understand. They need to be it just seems very delusional to me that we can't simply have a conversation without assuming that there's hatred.
He is. Oh my gosh. What is wrong with society today? Like, what is wrong with us?
Bro, I don't know.
There's no rationality.
You know, the weird thing is, both Caleb and I, are technically Gen Z. Are you Gen Z?
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of us are technically Gen Z. I'm like at the edge of being in Gen Z. If you want to see our previous podcast episode about that, please check it out. Maybe I can link it in the description. But basically, we had this discussion as to whether just because you were born in the era, does that mean that you are Gen Z? But anyway, it's interesting that both of us are from that era, per se, but we don't hold the same views as a lot of our society.
It's because we were raised in a household that enforces common sense.
What?
Not foolishness.
Yes.
Dory Love said, Dory Love, who's a street preacher, he said, if you were raised by if you were raised by an atheist, you were raised by a fool. And
oh my god!
And he was basing that off of like the Bible, the proverb, the fool in it says there is no God. And so he was like,
oh my
he was quoting it. He was just like, the Bible says that the fool says that there is no God. So if you were raised by an atheist, if your mom was an atheist, if your dad was an atheist, they're a fool. And I was like, damn, like he going crazy. Like I don't know if I would say that, but I mean, it's not that he's untrue.
That's pretty blunt.
Yeah, very blunt. But about this whole disagreeing and hate thing, I was in, because I've been debating with this atheist fellow in my, well, you could maybe call him agnostic, but he's pretty much atheist. Very science oriented guy, very interested in science. I've been debating him for the past couple days in my tutor class, which tutor's only like 20 minutes, so it's not like it's been that long. About like homosexuality and about like what I would do with my kids if they were gay and whatnot. And then one of the moments, the final moments that we spoke of, one of the last moments that we spoke of, I can't remember how it started, but he said something, and you're homophobic, so like this. And I was like, I'm homophobic? And then he's just like, yeah, well, yeah. And then I'm like,
can we define that?
And then I was like, oh, hold on, just checking something. All right, so he said like, yeah, you're homophobic, whatever. And I was like, really, I'm homophobic? And he's just like, yeah, well. And then I was just like, how am I homophobic? And then he's just like, well, you hate gay people. And I was like, really? I hate gay people. I said that. And then he's like, yeah, oh wait, and then he's just like, well, no, you didn't say that, but like you didn't. He said like, you don't think that. You think that it's a choice. You think that it's a choice to be gay and whatnot. And I was like, okay, I mean, even at that, it's a bit more complicated than that. I didn't just say that people just wake up and choose to be gay. But even at that, because I think that it's not, that you're not, that is something that's, because I don't think that it's an interchangeable thing, that means that I hate them. And they just like, sort of, because, you're kind of saying that, what did he say? Sort of because, I can't remember it. Like, I can't remember what he said, but basically what you need to know is like his argument, and he knew like his argument just started crumbling apart. Like he started speaking a lot slower, and he started thinking a lot more like, yeah, like this guy might actually be right. Like he doesn't hate gay people. And I said to him, I'm like, bro, just because I disagree with somebody on something, that doesn't mean that I hate them. And then I was just like, I disagree with the way that gay people live their lives. I disagree with the way that alcoholics live their lives. I disagree with the way murderers and rapists live their lives, thieves. I do not hate them. And he's just like, you wouldn't hate a thief? And I was like, no. And he's just like, you don't hate a thief? You don't hate, no, murderers, he said. He's like, you don't hate murderers? And I'm like, no. And he's just like, you don't hate murderers? And I was like, no. And he's just like, okay, I hate murderers. And I'm like, okay, but here, you're diverting off the point here. My point is that just because I disagree on something with someone does not mean that I hate them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these people, they can't wrap their heads around it. Because it's the programming, man. It's the brainwashing, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it's the brainwashing. We got to stop using words like that. Like, oh, you hate me, you hate my community, whatever. We gotta stop using words like that, man. No, it's deeper than that. It's more complicated than that.
I'm just thinking, like, how would you, like, imagine what hate looks like, because it sounds like, when you have differing opinions, then that's defined as hate. So
I was actually gonna make when we were coming here to this home just a few hours ago, I was already thinking in my head of making a video on this to post on my Instagram.
Actually.
But I can just say it right here, and then we can clip it up, and then I can post it on my Instagram to promote it.
Sounds sweet.
Saying I'm not racist, I have black friends, is actually proof that you're not racist.
What do you mean?
Think about it. If you were a racist and you hated black people, you would not want to be anywhere near black people.
Right.
If I was a homophobe, if I really was a homophobe, which that's what they calling me, they calling me a homophobe and a transphobe. If I was a homophobe, if I really was a homophobe and a transphobe, I would not want to be anywhere near the people in my classes. I would just want to stay away from them. I wouldn't even talk to them. That's how that's what an actual homophobe, that's how a homophobe acts. And anyone who would consider themselves an ally of homosexuality, of transgenderism, anyone who would consider themselves an ally of that, I would not want to talk to them either. I would want to be like, you're okay with that gay stuff? Or you gotta get away from me, because I don't stand with that stuff at all. You gotta get away from me. Go ahead with them. Go with them. That's how an actual homophobe lives their life. That's somebody who hates gay people, bro. So me, that's how somebody, think about the racists, right? The racists who hated black people during segregation, during what you call slavery, the racists who, you know what I'm saying, who are still alive today, the KKKs who are still alive today, they don't want nothing to do with black people, bro.
Basically wishing them dead, treating them with disrespect.
They view black people as less than human.
Damn.
An actual homophobe views gay people less than human and wants nothing to do with them. And if there's an ally who's not even gay themselves but just supports gay people, they'd be like to that ally, like, yo, you gotta get away from me. Like, I don't rock with you at all. Because that's what an actual, you know what I'm saying? And so all this, you hate them. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. You have no idea what you're talking about. You gotta stop using such strong words.
So just to check, you are fine with hanging out with other gay people and transgender people?
Bro, one of my classes is basically full with these guys, man. And I'm always, they don't quite like talking to me, but I'm always open talking to them. And I talk to them quite often. You know what I'm saying? I try to, I recently found out a couple things about them in regards to how they view me. But regardless, I'm still open. Like, my door's still open to these people. Right? My door's never, like, not open. You know what I'm saying? And I have no problem if they want to come up and talk to me. And anyone with rational thinking knows that. Or understands that when I actually say that. If they want to talk to me, I'm always open. Anyone with a functioning brain, with a functioning rational brain, can actually understand what that means. Because these people who don't have rational minds just compute that liar. He hates gay people. Stay away.
So, like, just to check.
What? If I was a homophobe, I would be treating you the way that you are treating me.
Oh my God.
That's what a homophobe does. I would be treating you the way that you are treating me. Yo. You know that Caleb person? Bro, don't talk to him. He's a homophobe. He's a transphobe. Just staying away, avoiding talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Stale face. You know what I'm saying? When I try to shake their hands, not even looking me in the face, and then just shaking my hand. You know what I'm saying? That's a picture that, but a straight white man and then a black lesbian or something, and the straight white man is the one telling everybody, yo, don't talk to that person, this, and then that's the black lesbian who's just trying to live life and just trying to move through a way. Think about that. That's you right now. That's you. So stop all this.
Oh my
God. Stop it. That was too loud. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's too loud. So I just want to check, like, so
yes,
do you care and love these people?
Yes. My door is always open to gay people, straight people, whoever. I have gay friends as nonchalant as some of you may take that. I have gay friends. I have bisexual friends. One of my friends, he's a bisexual. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this guy is like one of the I feel like he's really close with me. Like he's one of the closest guys that, like, we don't even talk all that often, but when we do, it's like we like really get each other. And he knows that as a Christian, I'm not okay with all that stuff. We just don't really talk about it. And but he's cool with he's cool if I disagree.
So it's like both of you guys understand each other's views, but you can still live life together.
He doesn't care that I disagree. It's not a problem to him. He's like, he literally criticizes, like, so many people are just too sensitive nowadays. One of my other
100%.
One of my other friends, he's an ally. He's not gay himself, but he's like 100% an ally. Bro, that guy is like, he's my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We get each other so much and we're so similar. And he's an ally of that whole gay stuff, that LGBTQ stuff, that stuff that, you know, the sexuality that I don't approve of. He's completely cool with it. But yet, me and him are just so tight with each other. And it's like, he does, you know what I'm saying? He understands that it's okay. You have your beliefs. I have mine. But we don't need to hate each other because of that. So
Pause.
We might be too loud. Yeah, and I'll probably expand on that whole thing a bit more after we discuss what actually happened with Posie Park and whatnot.
Yeah, I think I have to say, I think I have to say that I find it very unusual that because people have differing beliefs on something, it's like costing them their jobs, it's costing them friendships. Like, we don't have to go this far. Like, I don't, like, what is this? This is not choosing, this is not how we choose to live at peace with each other. Like, this is so unusual to me. So anyway, we can move on to the whole Posie Parker conversation and stuff. So can I just share like how I came to know this person?
Yeah, go ahead.
To be honest with you, before Posie Parker came to New Zealand, I literally had no idea who she was, like nothing. Okay, so like the first thing that I discovered about Posie Parker was a post by New Zealand Herald, which I will just quickly find.
Do you know if New Zealand Herald is like more conservative or liberal?
To be honest with you, I don't know the stance of New Zealand Herald, whether they are...
Not the stance, but like...
Yeah, where they stand.
I've heard that like New Zealand Herald and stuff are different. Like one of them's more conservative and one of them's more liberal. But anyway, keep going.
That's interesting. I have no idea, but it would be interesting to find out. Yeah, but I basically found a post by her on the 20th of March on Instagram, and it says here, an anti-trans activist wants to come to New Zealand. She might not be let in.
They liberal then.
I was literally going to say before I read this post that maybe we might find out by reading this post. Anyway, it has a question. Will Posie Parker get into Aotearoa? And then it goes on to say in the description, last week, a self-described women's rights activist, look at it. Anyway, drew protests in Perth and Melbourne, with some of her supporters seen giving Nazi salutes and shouting slurs at counter-protesters. Now, as UK activist Kellie-jay Minshull, please forgive me if I haven't pronounced that correctly, gets ready to fly to New Zealand, immigration officials have announced they're reviewing whether she should be allowed to travel to New Zealand without a visa. So when I saw this, I was like, hang on a second, anti-trans activist, what does that mean? And then here I am. I decided to go onto YouTube and actually search who this person was and to see what she was actually talking about. And it is the complete opposite. I was like, why is New Zealand Herald posting this person as an anti-trans activist. Do you even know what that means?
Yeah, what?
Anyway,
You know what?
this is like, I'm sorry. This is so interesting. Anyway, okay, can we first, like, how do we want to do this? Like, define what that means first.
Yeah.
Like, how do you see what an...
Yeah, okay. What is anti-trans? What does that mean? What does that mean?
To be honest with you, I think anti-trans is synonymous with the term or the definition of transphobia. It just means you are against trans people, transgender people. And if you were to actually read the definition of transphobia.
Let me, I want to hear a definition. I want to hear like a...
Okay, so this is from the WebMD website. And it says, transphobia describes someone who has hate, fear, or disgust for transgender people or anyone who does not fit into the male/female gender binary. And the example that was given was someone discontinuing a friendship after discovering that their friend was transgender.
Yeah.
A lot of what we said earlier today. Anyway.
And to my knowledge, I've seen a little amount of Posie Parker, of like her just speaking. I don't think that Posie Parker is anti-trans.
Neither.
I don't think that she's anti-trans in the sense of, I don't think that she is disgusted by trans people, but rather she much rather would respect, would appreciate if women and women's spaces were respected. That if men would not go into women's bathrooms, that men would not be in women's sports teams.
The way that you say that, I'm sorry.
Because here's the thing, even if, I mean, here's how we go back to the whole disagree thing. Because the trans people, yeah, I'll tell you right now, the trans people didn't even make it past 2 minutes of this podcast. The trans people, they didn't even make it past 2 minutes. They heard 2 minutes and they said, "Oh no, okay, I'm out. I cannot listen to this amount of hatred." But if the trans people get to this timestamp, I'll tell you right now, here's where we get back to the whole disagreement thing, because they gonna hear me saying that Posie Parker, which she does agree with this. I've heard her speak about this. She thinks that if you're a transgender woman, you're really a man, right?
Biologically.
Baby, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I'm speaking for myself here when I say that.
She may be speaking from herself. Me personally, there's only two genders. There's only two sexes, two genders. You're either male, woman. You cannot change it, right? No matter how hard you try. Right? If you're intersex, you still have XX chromosomes or XY chromosomes. Go get a blood test and get it done, and then figure out which one you are.
Bro,
right?
it's a DNA, isn't it? A DNA test or something.
Pretty sure you get a blood test. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Or maybe you get a DNA test. Probably.
That's something to look into later.
But here's the thing: is they gonna hear me saying men, and then be like, this is it. This is what we're talking about. This is the hate. This is the hate. And then it's
this is what I found weird.
No. This is not the hate. This is not hatred. This is not hatred. Because if it was hatred, then I would be encouraging everyone to stay away from these people. If it was hatred, I'd be telling everyone to stay away from you. I would be wanting to stay away from you. I would view you as disgusting, right? That is hatred. Okay,
let me try and play devil's advocate here. Is saying that women's spaces should be respected and that, women should be allowed to use women's bathrooms and that men should not be allowed to engage in those bathrooms. Is that a form of disgust and hate towards transgender people that, you want to separate us from?
It's using hate the same and disgust towards their actions, not them. So when the men go into the women's bathrooms, we hate and discuss them going into the bathroom. If you want to live your life and do whatever, if you want to sit at the table next to me in a restaurant, do it. It doesn't matter. If you want to be in my classroom and we have to work together in a group, do it. I don't care, right? If you're my boss or if you're an employee, do it. I don't care. But when you go into the places which are solely for women, right? For privacy reasons, for safety reasons,
right?
All that kind of stuff. We have a hate and a disgust for you going into the women's bathrooms, because that is not where you are supposed to be.
I mean, why though?
Why? Because like I said before, it goes back to the fact that the reason why these places are restricted for women and women only, and the reason why you're not allowed to go in. I say the reason why you're not allowed to go in.
You're not allowed, or you shouldn't, or like, I'm just trying to.
Well, legally speaking, you are allowed, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I haven't seen cases of people getting arrested for this stuff.
Right.
So legally, perhaps you're allowed, but why we don't want you? Okay, why we don't want you going into the women's bathrooms and stuff? Well, because you're not a woman. 1, you weren't born a woman. 1, okay. 2, you have the brain of a man. Doesn't matter. I was born in a woman's body. I was born in a man's body. What do you mean? This is a point that Jordan Peterson said. When you say, "Oh, I was born in a man's body," what is it that was born in a man's body? What is it specifically? What are you talking about? That thing which was born in a man's body. Is it the brain? Because you have the brain of a man. You literally do. If a scientist took out a piece of your brain and examined it, they would know this is a brain of a human male. They wouldn't know that this is a female brain, but a male brain. Mm-hmm. Is it the soul? And then he said, because typically people who agree with these kinds of things reject the idea of something like a soul existing.
Interesting.
Or a spirit existing.
Mm-hmm.
They typically reject all of that. So if it's not your brain, if it's not just the soul or the spirit, what is it? What is it that was born in a man's body?
Mm-hmm.
So you weren't born a man. You're not so you weren't born a woman. You're not a woman. Okay? Number 1, that's why why we don't want you going in there. Number 2, because here's the thing. Privacy and safety and respect. Privacy and safety and respect. Privacy, this is the privacy of people who were born women, people who are women. It is a privacy thing. It is a place that should be reserved only for them, because they are, in a space where, they uncover things, in private in their stores, but where they uncover things.
But then what if it's like, but Caleb, there are some transgender people that, physically have changed themselves to look like women. Why is it like...
Then make your own transgender bathrooms. I don't care. Because you're not a woman, though. That's why I said you're not a woman. It doesn't matter. Even if you physically changed, you're not a woman. I'm sorry. Make your own transgender bathrooms. And so, look, privacy reasons, this is a place where they... And remember, it's not just that they're uncovering the parts of their female body, right? But and that's attest to how they are actually women. But again, they are born with women brains. You are not. And you likely still have the brain of a male. You may have just transitioned the body parts, the private body parts, but you still have the brain of a male. And so that goes to test how you are still
it's almost like
a man.
Sorry, you want to finish off?
Nah, go on.
No, because I'm thinking to myself, like, you keep bringing up, you have a male brain, and it really makes me think of like you can't change, for example, a cat to behave like a dog. Neither can you force a dog to behave like a cat. In the same way, you can try as much as you can to force a male to behave like a woman.
cannot. There's something there that it's structured into you. It's hardwired into you. You can't change it.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you try, that's tough.
I think, yeah. No, I mean, for me, I value safety and privacy. So as a woman, I would feel uncomfortable if I saw, a transgender woman walking into the bathroom.
Safety, you know what I'm saying? Look, like I said, you still have the brain of a man. You know what I'm saying? You still... Here's the thing. Just looking from an outside perspective, you have someone who's really a man who's walking into a place where it should be only females. You know what I'm saying? That's really suspect. That's...
Just generally speaking.
It's disgusting. It's almost predatory, honestly. Because that's not meant for you.
And to be fair, like, not all transgender women will have like
the desires to, you know what I'm saying? No.
Malintent, like they won't have intentions. Not all of them will have intentions to like hurt people or do really like immoral things.
Yeah.
But I think we're just acknowledging that
the risk is there, though.
There's a risk, yeah, and it's good to, I guess, acknowledge and respect boundaries too.
Yeah, which is the respect one.
Yeah, so
it's just looking at it from it objectively. You're not the thing that you want to be, and so
it's not like we're saying we can't, be friends or interact in public spaces. Bathroom is a private space.
If my best friend, who is a guy, likes to go into women's bathrooms, I'm gonna tell him, bro, you gotta stop doing that. That's weird, bro. I'll still be friends with him. I mean, it depends, but like I'd tell, because like that's some really weird stuff. But I'd tell him, yo, like you gotta stop. Like that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's just looking at it objectively. From that perspective. It's not. Look, man, women are to be protected, man, and we can't have people like that. Just they're to have their private spaces, like men too. So,
and there's nothing wrong with desiring that, and I think I find it very interesting and quite discouraging that we couldn't have that conversation here in New Zealand. To be honest with you, like I am deeply disappointed with how New Zealand responded to that, how Auckland people kind of responded to that. I don't know how things were in Wellington.
She didn't get to go to Wellington.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, just the way.
Leave,
yeah, because I'm just like, isn't it quite hypocritical, like the very people that are like, I guess, desiring to have free speech and to be able to express themselves and things like that are the same people that are not allowing others to speak. Like it makes no sense at all. Like, what is free speech? You know what I mean? Like,
and if any of you listening now know any of these trans, LGBT, liberal, whatever, who are all for free speech and who are down for having a civilized conversation, tell us. Bring them here. I'll have a conversation with them. I'm not saying that like I'll destroy them in a debate or whatever, but like someone who's genuinely willing to listen, to speak, for me to listen and speak. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, I think we really need to just encourage conversations and just having like a critical discussion, basically.
But the way that, so with this whole Rosie Parker thing. Posie, sorry. Or Kellie-jay, she came into New Zealand, man, and...
Sorry, I kind of jumped the gun.
Yeah, she was just holding an event. Let women speak. It's not even a protest. Not even a protest. She said that it's not even a protest. It's just an event to encourage discussion, to speak. She just wanted to speak.
Yeah.
And there was an entire mob of people here in New Zealand, in Auckland, who were just raging at her, attacking her. Thank God she had a team of security, because she had a call. I was just watching like a post this incident call. She, after all this, she had an interview with this radio station, and they were receiving some callers, and one of the people that called the radio station and her was one of the people who was like an 11-month pregnant woman who was there at the event and was like helping her like get through it all.
Wow.
Wait, that's it. No, 11-week pregnant. Sorry, 11 weeks.
Right. I was like, damn,
was
she's
like-
pretty
I was like,
big.
11
11 months.
month?
Why are you doing? What are you doing there?
Something's not right with that. Something's not right with that.
What are you doing
But 11
there?
week pregnant, and she was
Protect yourself.
she was helping out and whatnot, and she like almost, or like it sounded like she was pretty much breaking down, crying, because she genuinely felt like in the moment like that Kellie-jay was not gonna make it out alive.
That's
Like,
insane.
That's how bad it was. That's how bad the crowd was.
This is just, it makes me reflect back to what 2021 Astro Projection, is that the one, the
Astro World.
Astro World concert, like how people were like crushed to death. I'm like, when are we gonna learn from our previous mistakes?
And here's the thing, is that it's not even that they would have crushed her to death, but they would have like literally just attacked her. Posie said that a 70-year-old woman got punched in the face.
That's crazy.
And that her eye socket was broken because somebody punched her in the face. So like they would have literally attacked her.
I do not approve of this behavior.
They were all throwing tomato at them and the security, and throwing paint at them.
And also like playing
bucket of paint.
loud, what do you call those? Like
Symbols.
horns and cymbals, like lots of noise, just so that we like she couldn't even talk. I'm like, that's just nonsensical. We are in 2023, people. How uncivilized can we get?
Look, if you are on the side of these trans whatever and you're proud of Auckland and whatever, just imagine if you're living in the 1840s, let's say 1840s America, or 1840s Britain, and there's some person who is trans, who amidst all the clear dislike for that kind of thing, for that kind of lifestyle, they want to make a change. And they want to just have a conversation about this stuff. And in the 1840s, they just get bombarded, just absolutely destroyed by a mob of straight white men just attacking this trans person.
That would be crazy.
Shouting at them, throwing tomatoes at them, being, how dare you speak? You know what I'm saying? Imagine that. And that's you. That is the community that you're proud of. Is that okay? Is that kind of behavior okay?
Absolutely not.
It's not okay.
Objectively speaking.
If a gay person was like this in a completely Christian society, and the Christian people reacted that way, I'd be ashamed of the Christian people. Like, that is not how we're called to act. We're not supposed to treat other people like that.
No.
That's not, I don't know.
Nobody should be treated like
right.
that.
It's not right, bro. And to say, people say, oh, I'm proud of my community for that. Nah, man. That's barbaric. People, stop. And so all these people, when you ask them to have a conversation, they're silent. I told you, that guy, he hasn't responded to me. They're silent, bro. Because they know that they're wrong and they're scared to,
Yeah.
Oh.
I kind of want to bring this up, but Posie Parker has been like called a Nazi.
Yeah.
And you yourself, have you been called?
Have I been called a Nazi? Not yet. They probably call it about me behind my back. They probably call me a Nazi behind my back. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. But no, I haven't been called a Nazi yet.
But we need to talk about this word. I think it's being misused.
The people today, you use words
so many
lightly.
words. Sorry.
So many words, yes. So lightly. They called her a Nazi and a white nationalist, which I searched it up. It seems like what they mean when they say white nationalist is like white supremacist, basically. like somebody who like believes that white is the superior race, that everything else should be exterminated, only traditionality, you know what I'm saying?
So that's how they understand.
I would think that that's what they mean when they say white nationalism.
But what is the actual definition?
Just someone who's proud to be white, like just someone who's just, proud to be white, proud of their culture, proud of their, you know what I'm saying?
So anybody like, oh my God, like
Look.
I'm so proud of my country, everything that we stand for, like that's kind of like the vibe, it sounds.
Look at this. I searched it up. Wait, is it this one or nah? Gotta have to search it up.
Pulling up the definition.
What is white nationalism? White nationalism.
Are you reading from Wikipedia, by the way?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a reliable source of information. Are you able to look for something else, please?
I'll go with dictionary.com.
Right.
Okay. So apparently this is the actual definition then. According to dictionary.com, it's the belief, theory, or doctrine that white people are inherently superior to people from all other races, ethnic groups, and that in order to preserve their white, European, and Christian cultural identity. What do you mean by this?
Did they just add Christian in there? Did they just add Christian in there?
What do you mean? Oh,
why is everybody putting Christian in everything?
Sorry. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. When you say you're white Christian, you have zero idea what you're talking about.
Why?
Because Christianity is not a white religion. It was started by Palestinians. It was started, or whichever one you want to identify with. It was started by Israelites. It was started by they were all Hebrew. They were all Israelite Hebrews. It's not that y'all whole thing. Jesus can't have been a white man. Jesus had to be black. And you want to say that in one breath, but in another breath call Christianity a white man's religion. You have no idea what you're talking about. There is not you know who the only white people in the Bible is? The people that executed Jesus. Those are the only white people in the Bible, the Romans.
Damn.
I might be mistaken on that, but to my knowledge, I mean, there were, Paul was preaching to like the church of like Philadelphia, I think. Maybe that might have been a white church.
Interesting.
Of course, preaching to the Romans. Those were the white people. Maybe the Romans accepted his message, maybe not.
Hey, yo. Pause.
You good, Pops?
All right, fam. We are going to wrap this conversation up. So we were talking about the definition of Nazi. Did you find it up? Sorry, we talked about white supremacists first.
Look,
white nationalists?
White nationalists believe in colonialism, colonialism. Colonialism. And like, you know what I'm saying? They believe in like exterminating all the other races and whatnot, or that at least that like white should be the only race and whatnot.
Isn't that similar to what Nazis believe?
Yeah, which I'll get to that. And so like from what I've seen, Posie is not a white nationalist or a white supremacist in the slightest, bro. She's not even Christian. You know what I'm saying? All white Christian beliefs, even though Christian isn't a white man's religion. She's not even Christian. She may not even be a traditionalist. She just believes in preserving the beauty and the value of women.
Period.
And people have been calling her a Nazi. You guys, do you even understand what you're saying? Do you guys even like stop for a second and think, wait, hold on, what am I calling this person? Bro, a Nazi is someone who believes that the Aryan race, which is blonde hair, blue eyes, is the ultimate superior and the only race which should be allowed to live on planet Earth, and that every other race and sexual orientation, whether that be transgender, homosexual, whatever, should be exterminated off the face of the earth. That I should be exterminated, Sarah should be exterminated, a Mexican family, a Polynesian, Asian, whatnot. If they're not Aryan, then they deserve to die.
But what if it's
and
like...
they hate Jews.
What if people's perspective is like, but Caleb, like, she has like similar ideologies to
doesn't
Nazis.
matter. That's not the Nazi ideology. That is not the Nazi ideology is that the Aryan race is the superior, is the only race which should be allowed on planet Earth, and that everybody else deserves to be like either imprisoned, like that they're less than human, that the Jews need to die. That is the Nazi ideology. So it doesn't matter whether some of her ideals align with this person. Bro, some of your ideals probably align with Hitler's, bro. There might be an ideology like, oh, we should make planet Earth a better place. Regardless of what that better place looks like, you probably believe that we should make planet Earth a better place, which someone like Hitler would agree with.
That's
we should make planet Earth a better place, whether you may disagree on what that planet Earth looks like
or how you go about going there.
Probably have that same. You probably agree that we should make a better Earth, and so bro. So are you a Nazi then? Are you a Nazi? No.
It's a very interesting conversation. Hey, look, we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks, guys, for listening in. Tune into another episode with us next time. So we are signing out.
I'll see y'all, man.